Hello. What's going on, you guys? How are you? What's up, 12th house? What's up, Karmic Karen? What up, Just Damn? Long time no see, 12th house stellium girl. How are you? Alrighty. Welcome to All Signs. Should be an interesting night. I just got done eating some roast stew. It's pretty good. You are my favorite. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do okay. I guess I don't have a lighter in here. All right. Am I your favorite? No. What's up, Danielle? What's up, Mr. Pops? All right. So let's see what you don't see coming from tomorrow till Saturday. What's up, Enigma? What's up, Sarah? I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I don't know you. I don't know you. Yeah, sorry about that. I've had a hell of a day. It was hilarious how you said it. It does say in my bio, I give blunt, no fluff tarot readings, and I try to keep it like that in my everyday life. Do I have something in my teeth? Hopefully not. Donna, what's up? Casey, hi. Anyway, you guys, welcome to All Signs Tarot. We're going to be taking a look at what you don't see coming for this upcoming week, but it's going to be from the 11th through to the 15th. We have a lot going on this week. Mercury's already retrograde, station retrograde yesterday. Jupiter is going to be retrograde on the 11th. I have this natally, so I'm very used to this vibe. Then there's going to be a Mars-Mercury conjunction while Mercury is retrograde and in its detriment in Sagittarius. So it should be fun. Yeah. What's up, Faye? Hi. If you guys want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during the live, then you can head on over to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. You can find that link. It is pinned in the chat. Okay. What's up, Eric? Matter of fact, let me start live event. Bink. There we go. Fabulous. Ugh, God, I just don't feel good. Something with my stomach every day. I hate being a Virgo. There's just always something. Hi from New Zealand. Oh my God, take me, please. Take me there. Get me out of here. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and see what the audience has to say. What sign would you guys like to start out with? Whoever answers first wins. Damn, Casey. Okay. Sag it is. All right, Sagittarius, we're starting with you. I wrote that like it's my first time on Earth. Hopefully y'all can see that. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, let's see your overall vibe for this week. We have the King of Swords. Okay. What you don't see coming. 8 of Swords reversed. Something that you have been confused about or in the muck about, stuck on. I feel like a decision is maybe being made for you, or something in regards to that can actually get worked out this week. Your advice is the High Priestess reverse. This is more so about listening to your own intuition as opposed to listening to what everybody else has to say. It doesn't mean that you can't take advice from people, but this is more about what you feel. So let's see that King of Swords. Wow. I would listen to your advice too. Honestly. Some of you are a gay man, okay? Just putting that out there just because I see the 2 kings, okay? So some of you, obviously, that's not for all of you. 6 of Pentacles reversed. Why is the 6 of Pentacles reversed? The 3 of Cups reversed. You are becoming very, I don't want to say stubborn, but I think you're becoming very selective with who you are giving your time, your money, your energy to. I think that a lot of you guys are pulling away from maybe some kind of third party situation, or pulling away from some kind of dramatic group dynamic that doesn't really fit you. The 6 of Pentacles reverse can show up for a couple of different reasons, but for this particularly, it feels like it's a positive, so to speak, just because you're showing up as 2 kings in the upright. 4 kings equate to an emperor. So to me, I feel like you're on the right path and you're trying to do what's right for you, your family, whatever it is that you have going on, especially if that means that you have to stop letting Ricky borrow, $100 every weekend, or whether that means that you have to stop consuming so much Twitter because it's messing with your mental health, or whatever it is. So I think that you guys have your head screwed on straight this week anyway. You guys seem to be pretty stable. It feels like to me, if you have like a home-based business or something like that, it seems to be going pretty well, but you do seem to be pulling some level of support from a person or a specific group of people. So let's see that 8 of Swords reversed. I heard finally. It seems like somebody else's actions make the decision for you. That's what I'm getting with that, because the 8 of Swords, when it shows up in reverse, it means that finally we can make a decision. Finally, we're becoming unstuck from a situation. Why? 10 of Swords reversed, the Hierophant reversed. This is like when somebody, and I don't want to like fearmonger or anything like that, but it feels like somebody is repeating some kind of behavior again, and they're trying to, like, it reminds me of, it's like somebody who is trying to justify their actions because of a belief. How do I explain it? Like, this is a really superficial way to say it, and I'm just going to try to be quick about it, but this is like somebody who, tries to say, well, I cheated because I'm a man and we're wired that way. And it's like, okay, it's something like that. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it's like somebody that has some weird core belief that they're trying to justify their behavior with it, is what that feels like to me. And the Hierophant reverse can be somebody who's like, the rebel without a cause, or they're trying to force their beliefs onto you. And you're like, yeah, I don't know if I really subscribe to that. But you know what? Thank God, because this gave me the ick, and now I don't care. You ever had that happen before where it's like you've been talking to somebody, or maybe you've been dating somebody for a while, and you're like, I really don't feel like this is for me, but I'm going to try and stick it out. And then they do that one thing where you're like, oh, finally, they gave me enough of the ick where I can just leave. Like, that's what it's kind of making me think of, and I don't know if this is like a friend. I don't know what it is. What's up, Candy? What's up, Priscilla? What's up, Michael? So now we have the High Priestess reverse, the 10 of Wands reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles for your advice. Again, it makes me feel like if you try to allow this person to justify their behavior, if you try to subscribe to that narrative or that belief, I think that you'd probably be betraying yourself and honestly making things hard on yourself. I think it's up to you to, stand on business, essentially, with that Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles that's Capricorn energy. It's feminine Capricorn energy. You're not really, getting your way around that, and it's about being mature in the way that you handle things as well. Just stay focused on your money, stay focused on your home turf and kind of what you have going on in the present. Okay. But yeah, it just feels like somebody makes the decision for you by their actions. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other choice but to just dip out or whatever. So I think that may be who you're pulling back from. Thanks a lot, Sagittarius. Let's move on to Capricorn. Good energy, though. You're in really good energy, Sagittarius. All right, Capricorn, let's see what you don't see coming. We have the Tower reversed in your energy. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed for what you don't see coming. Okay. Your advice, the Moon. We've got some heavy stuff here. All right. Tell me about that Tower reversed. The Fool reversed. The World. What is the World about? The Knight of Cups. Aww. I don't want to make this all about love. I hate doing that all the time, okay? But I kind of feel like it is with that Knight of Cups. But let's try to describe a different scenario. Let's say that you applied for a job, and you applied for a job a while ago, and you're kind of waiting around, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer, and nothing ever comes. And you keep waiting. And then this reading is either going to go one of two ways. It's either that you finally make the move to solidify the job, or you say, you know what, I think I'll look elsewhere. Now, I'm wondering, because I see that 5 of Pentacles reverse, if you find that you are randomly selected, like maybe once you take on that job, that old job actually finally calls, or it can be where you were holding on for a person, and then you're like, well, I just gotta go throw my dice at another table, but then this person comes around, it kind of feels like that. Or, to be honest, it can be that you were holding on and it finally, you realize it was worth it. It can be one of those scenarios. Let me see that 5 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, look at that. See, but I don't like spreading messages like that, because I really think that waiting around for somebody to put their potential into action, you know, waiting around for somebody to change. I don't really subscribe to that, you know, been there, right? And so I don't want to tell the wrong person to put their life on hold for somebody, okay? But I do think that something you were hesitant to move on from seems to be, oh, like it's like a unexpected communication. It's unexpected news. I feel like it's good news with that Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands reversed, but there's still someone's still hesitant, whoever this is. What is the conversation about? The Temperance reversed. Somebody feels like they don't have peace. It seems like this person has a lot on their mind, and they seem to be expressing what that is to you. And the Temperance reverse can be like when we're feeling off kilter, when we're feeling off balance, when we don't feel content with how things are, how things were, how things went. And this person is being very honest with you, but they're having some insecurities about that level of honesty and transparency because of that Page of Wands reverse. The Page of Wands reverse is not confident. But it's like, but you know what I think the beauty of this is? This person isn't confident in, it's not that they're not confident in what they're saying. They're not confident in expressing it to you, but they're going to do it anyway. And I think that's really beautiful. Your advice. The Moon, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the King of Cups. I think that if you're a masculine, okay, because I have let me show you. I have the Moon, I have the Queen of Wands reversed, I have the King of Cups. If you are the masculine, okay, remain mature. I'm not telling you to like take some level of abuse or anything like that if that's the case. That's not what I'm saying. But if this has the potential or is a healthy situation, you know, allow yourself to be the shoulder for this person. Allow yourself to, you don't have to like spill the beans and be super vulnerable, but allow yourself to, you know, be the cliffs that the waves can crash on. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that there's a lot of fears that the feminine may have with that Moon and that Queen of Wands reversed. And I think that if you can see through the anger, that will help you. If you can see where it's coming from, you know, and I think that for a lot of us, the anger that we have, a lot of it is just our inner child or inner teenager just angry at something that was unresolved, you know, and I think if you can see it that way, it will make more sense. If you're the feminine, I would watch how you approach the situation, especially if you're angry, feeling jealous, something like that, because you may end up kind of sabotaging what it is that you actually want. Okay, you may sabotage yourself. What's up, Rune? What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Lee? What's up, Lewis? Oh man, I keep forgetting to change this. I'm so sorry, you guys. Here. Moving on to I'm trying to write it backwards. Because my camera's flipped. Am I doing a good job? Damn, that's pretty good. I can't lie. What's up, Memphis? Thanks, baby. All right, Aquarius, let's see. You have Pluto direct. Ooh, okay, the Sun. You have the Emperor reversed. That's for what you don't see coming. Oh, God. It's like, you know what this makes me think of as soon as I see it? It's like you're having a great day, the sun is shining, and then somebody just sees how happy you are and they just want to ruin it, you know? And I think that we can kind of see that anyway with this Mercury retrograde Mars conjunction. I think that we're probably going to see a lot of that. Your advice is the Nine of Swords reverse. So I kind of want to say, like, brush it off, dust it off. Let's see that sun. Four of Cups reversed. Okay. Oh, God. I mean, that's what a way to utilize that disappointing ass energy, honestly. The Sun, the Four of Cups reversed, the Ace of Pentacles. Have you ever, like, and I'm sure that you have you ever had like just a really bad, let's say you just got really rejected, or you had a really bad breakup, and you know, and then you're like, all right, that's cool. Like I'm gonna make something of that. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna get the hottest that I can, you know, or I am gonna go write a song. I'm gonna, you know, like when I had a breakup once, I was like, I mean, I really got my heart shattered. I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. Here we are, right? And that was kind of my Sun Ace of Pentacles moment after that disappointing scenario. And so it seems like after a time, like especially if it's been this past week where you had a bit of a rough patch, or maybe just the entirety of November, it seems like you are really on cloud nine, despite everything. Okay, somebody may actually have Jupiter retrograde natally. I'm saying that because there's something about this Jupiter retrograde for somebody that's actually going to turn out really, really well. I mean, to be fair, it is Jupiter, and it's exaltation of Cancer. So, like, not saying bad things can't happen, you know, but so I'm not mad about it. It seems like you're not really waiting around for opportunities. It seems like you're creating them. The Emperor reversed with the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups. Oh. There's a great humility in whomever this person is. If I could describe this person just with what I see on the table, it's somebody who is controlling, manipulative. They're always trying to, like, I'll never forget, right? There was this guy, and he's just such a control freak. Like, he's just so emasculated unto himself. It's honestly sad. It's really, really sad. So, this guy he ended up having like a lot of control issues because it made him feel like a man, you know? And one day his daughter was sitting there on her phone, and he was like, why aren't you saying anything? And she's like, I just don't feel like talking right now. And he literally snaps back and says, don't talk back. You know, and that's what this person kind of is giving me that vibe of. Now, it doesn't have to be that ridiculous. True story, by the way. It doesn't have to be that ridiculous. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. And it seems like there's something where something happens where this person gets humbled in a way that I think is going to not just benefit you, but it's also going to benefit them. And I say that because it's going to force them to reflect on certain behaviors. And they're going to see it with a new perspective, especially because I think, in my opinion, that you are the Wheel of Fortune in this scenario. I think you're the Wheel of Fortune in this scenario because of your energy. And the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. Were we just talking about that? Was that for I can't remember if that was for Capricorn or Aquarius. Anyway, so Aquarius, I feel like you're going to be of this energy where somebody's going to try to like do that to you, or somebody's going to try to get a dig, or they're going to try to control you or manipulate you. And you have such a higher perspective, or I hate to use the word high or the term high vibrational because I think it's so overused, but a high vibrational response or no response that it makes this person be like, oh damn, you know. It kind of reminds me of oh damn it, what was it? Okay, so I don't know if you guys know who Woah Vicky was, okay? And I don't know why I'm remembering this. I don't even follow her, but I remember watching this one scene where she was on television and this girl was trying to beat her ass, okay? And she was like, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. I really hope that you find God, and I hope that you find Jesus, and I'm wishing you the absolute best. And like, this woman did not know how to respond to that because you can tell she was so busy living in survival mode that she didn't really like, you know? And so anyway, needless to say, Woah Vicky did not get her ass beat that night, but you know, it like kind of humbled this person publicly and made them reflect on their behavior. You know what I'm saying? So, advice. 9 of Swords reversed, 8 of Wands reversed, the Strength reversed. Yeah, I think that when it comes to this person trying to push some kind of narrative on you or trying to push you, I think that you need to I think you need to see it for exactly what it is. This person attempting to trigger you in some way, because people that do that where they're trying to get some kind of rise out of you, those are people that feed on negative energy. And when you can allow yourself to feed on negative energy, but like enjoy it and enjoy, you know, getting a negative response from someone else where you're taking some kind of pleasure in another person's pain, not in a hot like BDSM way, like in a weird immoral, sadistic way, then there's something in you that needs checked, you know? And I think that you need to remember that when you may find that somebody is trying to trigger you this week. And I think it's because you're so happy and you made something out of your circumstance that I think this person likely has a problem with it. So just something to remember. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to Pisces. Jesus, if I erase with this little thing, we're gonna be here till tomorrow. You're welcome, Asia. All right. Oh no! Okay, Pisces. Hi, Alexis. What's up, Rick? Are you having a good day? Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's okay. So, not really, honestly. I had a pretty crappy day, but it's all right. What's up, Michael? It's nice to see you. We are officially on Pisces. All right. Page of Pentacles reversed, Pisces, in your energy. The 7 of Wands for what you don't see coming. Uh-oh. The 2 of Swords for your advice. I'm not surprised with all this energy with this Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars. I'm really not. Let's see that Page of Pentacles reversed. The Hangman. Okay, that's good. There you are, showing up in your high vibration. The Four of Swords. What's the Page of Pentacles reversed and why is it there? The Four of Pentacles reversed. It seems like you take a bit of a risk this week, or you're thinking a lot about a certain risk that you took. It can be financially, sure, can be physically, can be in regards to health stuff. You know, Pentacles isn't always about like money. It can be about like your physical body. But whatever it is, it feels like something is being delayed. Whether it's like maybe it's some test results, maybe it's a job, maybe there was a missed opportunity with a person in your life. However, you're dealing with it pretty well. It's giving you a lot of time to really think about things, and you're thinking about either all of the sacrifices you made and were they worth it or not. You're thinking a lot about sacrifices that may need to be made, whether you like it or not. And so I think for you, it's like, let's say that there's a missed opportunity that you're having with a partner, okay? And maybe it was really rough and you're like, God, you know, when you're really just thinking about it, like after the dust is kind of settling and, you know, maybe you haven't spoken to this person for a week or whatever, and you're like, I can't believe I really let myself give that much. That's crazy, you know? And like, whatever it is, maybe it was you ended up spending too much money when you were sad, you know? I don't know, maybe you got some tourist placements, right? But whatever it is, it's making you see things differently. And I don't just mean like, oh wow, yeah, like totally. No, I mean like it's a very deep understanding of the cost, what something cost you, or what something may cost you if you don't like level up. Let's say that you are getting some news about some health thing, right? And it's not like detrimental. It's not, you're not dying, right? But they're like, hey, like, you know, and I use this example sometimes, you're pre-diabetic, and you're like, oh shit, you know, and you've thought about it. You thought about like, God, I really need to get on this diet. I really need to start working out. I really need to, you know, get it together. And you could just kind of put it off and you put it off and you put it off. And then they tell you this and you're like, let me sit this one out for a minute and let me think about what I've done, you know? But the good thing is that you can do something about it. So it seems like you're taking some time out for yourself and you're just kind of really thinking about things. It's a very healing moment. You're contemplating a lot, and I think it's for the better. The Seven of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Wands. Why? The King of Wands reversed. Ew. There's nobody I hate more than the King of Pentacles reverse, but I would say the King of Wands reverse is a pretty good runner up. You know? So let's first just talk about the King of Wands reverse. There's somebody in your life that is maybe a misogynist, or it's somebody who is so defensive all the time because their fragile little ego just can't handle any kind of pressure, or they're not resilient, they're fragile, their ego is fragile. And you may find this week that this person is competing with you. And it's like weird because you're like, huh? Like it almost feels unexpected. The Seven of Wands is pretty unexpected. I think that you're just, it's like you winning an award on stage and somebody else coming up there and like trying to take over your speech, like using it as an opportunity to make it about them. You know, it reminds me of, and by the way, this was like so weird. Okay. Sometimes boy moms are a little strange to me. Not all of them, obviously, but sometimes. And this son, this woman's son and his fiance, they were having a baby shower. And when the cake revealed what they were having, right, boy or girl, the mother jumped on the son and like wrapped her legs around him and like made the whole moment about herself. You know, now, I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but it reminds me of that. And I think that you guys are kind of seeing it. You're like, oh. You're kind of asking yourself, like, am I crazy? Did that just happen? Yeah, babe. Yeah, it did. You know? And so before somebody tries to gaslight you or whatever, you are not crazy, okay? You are not crazy. I promise. Yeah, see, look, I told you. 2 of Swords, the 7 of Cups. You are not crazy. You're going to think that you're crazy because you're going to be like, did they just do that? Yes, they did. You know, you're going to question yourself. Okay. But you don't need to do that. Hangman is in your energy. Your intuition's on point. Yeah. It can also be like a plausible deniability situation. And I said this on my last live, but have you ever like had somebody who threw like this low key shade and you knew that they did it? And so when you confront them about it, they're like, huh? But it's just sneaky enough that if you were to call it out, you would look crazy. You know what I mean? It might be that kind of situation. Those are the worst. Cause I'm like, you know, I'd be thinking like, I'll punch you right now. Like you are such, like what a little bitch way out to confront somebody. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it might be, excuse my French, it might be that kind of situation. All right, thank you, Pisces. What's up, Leia? Hi, Leia. What's up, Underdog? What's up, Mojo? What's up, Joanne? Kenneth is here. Kenneth, are you good, baby? Do you need any help? Kiddos, let me know if you need, do you just need some temporary like help? Because I know Lori might be busy. Do you want me to have Mojo help you out? What's up, Barry? Good night, Rick. No, you're good. Okay. All right, well, let me know if you, what's up, Kaylee? Let me know if you change your mind. What's up, Lee Nicholas? Welcome. All right, Aries. We're making pretty good time, I think. How was my day? It was okay. It was busy. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing. I'm just, yeah, but I'm good. I'm really good. I'm good now. What's up, Bradley? What's up, Mia? All right, Aries, let's see. The Knight of Wands reversed for your energy. What you don't see coming is the Nine of Wands reversed. And the Chariot for your advice. Okay. What's that Knight of Wands reverse? Please. Okay. The Four of Wands. Oh, man. Aries. You're having a really good time. All right. You're having a really good time. You're doing your thing. You're going all out. You're not calling anybody back. If you do, you know, it might be for maybe a little romp in the hay, you know what I'm saying? But you're having a blast. You may piss some people off this week. Mars is in Sagittarius, your ruler. Mars rules Aries. Mars is very strong in Sagittarius. He's going to square the nodes soon as well, you know, and he's going to be conjunct Mercury retrograde. So you may run into maybe somebody from your past, something like that. Something happens, maybe you make a joke. Maybe somebody has certain expectations of you that you can't really line up with, that you can't really meet, and you may piss some people off. I would be careful of that Knight of Wands reverse because you could be doing it on purpose, okay? Now reverse it if you need to, but the Knight of Wands reverse is somebody who is doing something just to get a reaction or just because they need validation. They're being a bit too flamboyant, a little too arrogant, a little too confident, you know, and it's like off-putting, okay? I do want to clarify that Lover is reversed. The Star. Oh. You know what this reminds me of? Now, this is very specific, okay? This reminds me of there has to be some kind of movie or something. I don't know, but it reminds me of somebody who has somebody very specific in their mind that they care for very deeply, that they hoped for, that they hope for, that they still believe in, but instead of going to that person, they, you know, get really drunk at a lot of bars and meet a lot of people and maybe sleep with people and you know, I'm not judging, to each their own, but it's almost like a distraction. And we all do that when we're trying to avoid what's really going on. Not all of us do that, but a lot of us do that when we're trying to avoid what's really going on, you know. Some people do that. Some people go out and sleep with people to try to, you know, not think about said person. Some people doom scroll when they're trying to distract themselves from what it is that they're feeling. And don't get me wrong, like, you're having a good time, but I think that there's something a lot deeper that's going on. I think that you still hold a candle for someone, hoping that they're going to see it in the window that you put it in, hoping that they're going to walk by and see your light and knock on the door. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. And I'm not saying that you're going out and fucking a bunch of people, okay? But it's giving me that vibe. What you don't see coming. I just heard Hostage by Billie Eilish. I want to be alone with you. I want to be alone with you. Does that make sense? That's the line that I heard. The Nine of Wands reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Devil. Ooh, man, this is this is a hard one to deliver. Back when I was like 28, okay? There's a method to the madness, just hear me out, okay? Back when I was 28, I had this really gorgeous boyfriend. I mean, he was stunning. Okay, like he was stunning. And he was very protective over me, all of these things. But he cheated on me, right? And it really messed with me really, really bad. And I just felt like, while he was really good to me in so many ways, you know, even though he denies it till this day, I know he did. So I was young, okay, so give me a break. I don't really care if you judge me, but I knew the one thing that I could do that would get to him. And so I ended up sleeping with his best friend, and I made sure he knew about it. Because I had given up. I had given up on this person, and they had killed my trust so bad, because at one point they made me feel like a little girl again. I felt safe enough to be so vulnerable and open and protected by this person that when it happened, it felt like my entire reality was twisted. So I gave up. And I did the thing that I knew would kill him. And that, I hate to say it, Aries, but it feels, it's like somebody hurting, Nine of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, feeling like they're fighting a losing battle and empowering themselves through revenge. That's what it feels like. Okay, now reverse this if you need to, please, you know, but that's what it's making me think of. Your advice. Oh man, okay. The Chariot, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. It's asking you to get control and a hold of yourself, honestly. The Chariot is when we are in control. We're in control of where we're going. We're in control of our emotions. And the Page of Swords, with the Seven of Swords, tell me about that Page of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. I want you to think very carefully before you act. Like, I really want you to be able to utilize discernment. Really use discernment. Like, really stop yourself. Really, like, before you do something that you may think is going to be stupid, I want you to ask yourself, how do I want this to go? How do I want this to go? And then act in accordance with that. Okay? Because I don't want you to sabotage something that you hope for and something that you want because you don't know how to regulate your emotions. Been there. You know? So yeah, just be cautious. Thanks a lot, Aries. Would I do that now? No. I'll sleep with your enemy instead. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I am just joking. All right, Taurus. Did I get it? Okay. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'm Taurus, May 10th. I'm a Taurus rising, Taurus moon. I feel like crossing a Scorpio Venus is not the business. Well, you know what though? I rarely go after revenge. I rarely do it. I just really rarely do it. I just don't do it. Back when I was drinking, even then I really didn't go after revenge because I know that something's gonna get you. You know? I know that eventually, and you know, that's it. And you just move on. What's up, Hugo? I'm a Libra on the cusp of Virgo. I'm a Virgo on the cusp of Libra, September 21st. Okay, Taurus. 5 of Swords reversed for your energy. The Knight of Pentacles for what you don't see coming. Okay. Your advice, the 3 of Wands. I like it. I don't want to clarify. One, I didn't. You don't even know how to spell your own name, please. 8 of Cups reversed. And the 2 of Wands reversed. Ooh. Baby, I'm gonna need you to take the parking brake off. Okay. I say that with all the love in the world, okay? You are of the notion that because it never worked out before or it didn't work out before, that it's not going to work out now. I'm not saying like with a specific person or with a specific job. Like, yeah, I would get that mentality if like you were dating somebody and they beat your ass every day and then you broke up and you got back with them and they beat your ass again and then you broke up with them and then, you know, you thought, well, it's just going to be the same. Yeah, you're probably right? But that's not what I mean. I mean, if you, let's make it about a person. If your last relationship failed, it does not mean the next one is going to fail. That is partially up to you and your perspective and the work that you've done to be able to attract a better person to you because you have become better yourself. People with boundaries don't get taken advantage of. People without boundaries do. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that this is about a person, but because of the past, because things haven't worked out, you're keeping yourself still. You're keeping yourself right there on the fence. Tell me about that 8 of Cups reversed. The Hermit. There's a paranoia. You're paranoid. And I think that you probably have every right to feel that way. I think that your feelings are likely very valid. I mean, there's a reason why you feel that way. It's absolutely valid. But it doesn't mean that things are always going to be like this. It doesn't mean that things won't change. If you change, a lot of other things will reflect that in your life. And that's something I've had to learn the hard way. It's really, really hard. Especially for fixed signs, you know. But I mean, that's pretty, I think that there's more work to do in my opinion. The Knight of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed. it almost feels like somebody's backing out of something. So the Knight of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles reversed and then the Knight of Swords reversed, it feels like there's somebody here who's kind of inching their way towards you, and this person will make themselves known. There'll be a presence. It's somebody very slow moving, somebody who's very kind of earthy, or their approach is very earthy, slow, methodical, practical, things like this. It could be somebody who's trying to work on a project with you or something. But something happens where they drop it or they decide to back out. And it may shock you, or you may be very surprised about that. Why are they dropping out? The Empress reversed. That's you. The Empress is Taurus. You know, I told this story last time on my live, on the last live, but I had gone through a breakup, whenever it was. So many. So many, guys. I had went through a breakup, and there was this guy, and I could tell he was attracted to me, but he also had a lot of water in his chart, so he was pretty in tune with stuff. And I could tell that he was attracted, but I could also tell that he chose to intentionally keep his distance because he knew that something was off. He could tell that I was not in my right mind at the time. I was not emotionally sound. He could sense it, and he wasn't cruel or anything like that. He was just like, okay, you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like it's something like that. Like this person senses that you are trying to force something, or you're trying to press something, or even this person may even perceive that you're desperate. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's true, but these are some of the things that can be related to the Empress reversed. And it's rooted in not feeling worthy enough. Okay. Tell me about the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, Six of Cups reversed. Yeah, again, it's like I said, Taurus, you know, I think that there's still just some work to do. I think that you'll find once you really do the work, and this can be in regards to things from your childhood, you know, in regards to past partners that have hurt you. And, you know, sometimes it's good to see, like if it is about ex-partners, look at what they all have in common. That will say so much more about you than it will about them. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Now if it's about childhood, that's obviously a different story. Childhood trauma is another whole other ball game. But I think that once you start to work through that, and I feel like you also need to remove some things out of your life, because I think that if you allow yourself to do that, if you remove some of these things out of your life, whatever it is, I don't know if it's like drinking, I don't know if it's like you just have a really bad routine, I don't know what it is, but I think that you'll find once you remove that negativity, you will feel so much more refreshed, and you will likely find that more positive opportunities or people or whatever work will come into your life. But it's really about working through this, okay? Thanks a lot, Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. What's up, Zachary? What's up, Lionel? What's up, Miriam? Thanks, Joshua. Looks like shit. Okay. Let's go ahead and shuffle these really quick. What's up, Sun, Moon, Scorp? Thanks, Lee. Lilith and Gemini. Ooh, me too. I have Chiron conjunct Lilith in the second house. The toothpick for the elevator button. I don't know what that means. What's up, Matthew? Aw, thanks, Candy. That's so nice. Everybody hashtag Candy in the chats. You have Chiron and Gemini too? Awesome. What's up, Darcy? What's up, Power of the P? What's up, Sarah? What's up, Christy? Do you like Hispanic men? Men in romantic relationships to me are 9 out of 10 times a drain. So I don't know. I don't know about men anymore. Lori! We're going to Gemini. Kenneth and Lori are like good cop, bad cop in my chat. The feeling is mutual. Yeah. Oh. You just broke 6 hearts, V. Bill me. All right, so let's move on to Gemini. Ooh, 6 of Wands. Queen of Swords reversed for what you don't see coming. That doesn't look fun for anyone. Talk about draining. The 3 of Pentacles for your advice. I feel like I know what this is about. Okay. 6 of Wands. Why is the 8 of Pentacles reversed? The 10 of Cups. As soon as I saw this, it made me feel like you're getting a bunch of attention for the bare minimum. Like, it just makes me feel like you are getting this big pat on the back, or you're like looking for it. Like, I don't know, Gemini, I'm feeling a couple of different ways about this, okay? It did make me giggle a little though, okay? So this can go one of 2 ways, okay? It can go in the way of you are getting a lot of recognition and applause for like not even trying. You're barely even showing up, you know. You're rolling out of bed hungover, and somehow you show up to the work meeting fucking flawless, stunning. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting a lot of love. For others of you, it may be that you are expecting more than you're actually willing to give, okay? So what do I mean by that? I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but you can be like, how do I want to say this? You're feeling like love is enough. You feel like love is enough, you know, and to be honest with you, it can be that you're really not putting in an effort because you feel like just showing up and loving someone is enough, okay? And I know that this is really harsh to say, and sometimes there's a time and a place for that, and that's all well and good. But at the same time, you may get confused when somebody starts to get irritated with you because, you know, you're not helping out around the house, or you know, you're loving them to pieces and the sex is really good, but like you're not, you know, you're not offering to take out the trash. Like I remember there was this guy, and he, like, we were hanging out and he was really attractive, and you know, we were having a good time and he was loving on me and stuff like that. But like, you know, he wouldn't even like offer to take out the trash or anything. And like, I got a big ick from that, you know, like it's sometimes it's not good enough to just to show up and be good looking. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's not discounting your efforts. That's not discounting how much you love somebody, because clearly you very much do. But it's like, they're like, yeah, look how much I love you. But there's like more work to be done. I'm sorry. I know that sounds really mean. I'm not trying to be. Okay, for others of you, it can be that you're deciding to call off work, or you're deciding to put off some kind of responsibilities that you have because of your relationship or your family stuff, honestly. It really can just be that, okay? But you have that Queen of Swords reversed there for what you don't see coming. So let's see what it is. Okay, the Ace of Cups and the Page of... Okay, so that's good. Wow, there's a lot of water here. But why is the Queen of Swords reversed? Somebody's pretty pissed off at you. Somebody's pretty pissed off. And you know, I don't think that it is like a deal breaker or this person despises you, but they're upset because of the Judgment reverse. They're upset because the proper decision hasn't been made, or somebody hasn't taken accountability, whether it's they haven't taken accountability for something from the past, or they haven't taken accountability for doing something that they said that they were going to do. You know, there's no transformation. There's no meeting a standard. Eight of Pentacles reversed. And so it's like interesting because this person, it's almost like they're not saying anything. They're still showing up with all of this love. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's more of somebody's irritable, but it may surprise you that they're not that mad. Like it may, you know, this kind of reminds me like, I have an ex who, he used to piss me off so bad. Oh my God. He used to piss me off. He was just freaking in denial about stuff all the time. He just would not be honest with me or himself about who he was. It used to drive me crazy. But he knew how to make me laugh, god damn it. You know, the motherfucker knew how to make me laugh. And that's what got me every time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're the guy or the girl that can make somebody laugh despite your shortcomings. You know, and it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like terrible or anything, but it is, you know. But you may be surprised on how this person is responding to you. Because it's like you may be showering this person with a shit ton of attention, but to me, it's like I'm going to shower you with all this love and attention because I don't want you to bring this up. I don't want you to make me do this. You know what I mean? It can be something as simple as like you're hanging out with your family for the holiday this weekend or this week, or, you know, there's some kind of family get together and your mom really wants to talk about, you know, how you didn't buy the Christmas tree last year and she wants you to buy it this year and you don't want to talk about it. And so she's pissed, but you made her laugh and so everything's fine. You know, that's obviously like a terrible example, but you see what I mean? So you have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. Okay. The 8 of Cups. This is not about you. Okay. This is, you got to let that go. Just for this week, okay? It can be about you next week, all right? You have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. This is not just about what you want and your desires and you being fulfilled. You gotta avoid that idea this week, you know? Especially like I said, I know I've said it a million times, but we have that Mars coming into a conjunction with your ruler, whom is currently retrograde in its detriment right now. So, you know, being a bit too selfish, being, you know, too much of trying to make everybody laugh to avoid accountability or avoid some kind of task, it may piss people off, you know? And it's about everybody, you know? And the North Node in Pisces is really teaching us that right now. It's about the collective. It's not just about us and what we want and our little, you know, it's about the collective. It's about compassion. And I think with that 3 of Pentacles, not saying you don't have compassion, but that 3 of Pentacles is like, you are going to have to work on a team with somebody, you know, or you're going to have to help out. It also means that you're going to have to learn something from someone else, etc. So it's about us, not me, right? That's kind of the vibe for you for this week. Thanks a lot, Gemini. I like your vibe. Thanks. A lot of trauma to get me here. You're welcome, Mojo. So now we're going to move on to Cancer. I like your top V. It's cute. Thanks. Okay, believe it or not. Well, you might be able to believe it. I picked up my daughter from school today and I was like, she was wearing this and I was like, that is so cute. Can I wear that for my stream? She's like, yeah. So this is actually hers. It was so cute though. I was like, girl, she will be 12 in December. But it was so cute. It was so cute. They wear my stuff too sometimes. What's up, Leia? All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Cancer. Okay, Cancer, your energy is the Ace of Wands. Feeling pretty motivated this week. The 9 of Wands reverse for what you don't see coming. Aries had that. The Magician reversed for your advice. Okay, I just heard, I didn't come this far just to come this far. Don't know why I heard that. Haven't heard that in a while. I think, was that the Beyonce that said that? I can't remember. The Ace of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Strength. Okay. Why is the Four of Cups here? The Justice reverse. Well, I don't think it's going to get you down too much, if I'm being honest, because of that Strength card. So we have this here. The Ace of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Strength. Justice reverse clarifying the Four of Cups reverse. Let's say you are really motivated. All right, this week you may be really just pumped, man. You know, you're pretty pumped, and you decide that you are going to apply for this job that you really want, right? And they say no, not a fit, not really mutual, dog. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, right? And you're like, oh, okay, you know, but it doesn't harsh your mellow. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right. It kind of made you a little bit more serious in the way that you're pursuing something or someone. You know, if it's a person, let's say you're going out and dating, and maybe you're very attracted to somebody, and maybe you have a few options, you know, with that Four of Cups. Maybe you have a few options, and then the one that you want is like, no. You're like, oh, okay. All right, well, I guess I'll hold off on that. But the thing that you have to remember is the Four of Cups, there's four cups, you know? So like if one thing doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that something else isn't going to, but don't stay too focused for too long on the one thing or one person that you didn't get, okay? But it's actually, you know, the Strength is not ego. The Strength reversed is ego. The Strength is genuine confidence. You know how genuine confidence is built? There's a couple of different ways. Genuine confidence is built when we fear something and we allow ourselves to have the courage to fight through that fear, which is courage within itself. That builds confidence, where we do something that scares the shit out of us. Confidence can also be built when we have had our ego destroyed, where there is nearly nothing left but the soul within itself. And through that is when we build true confidence, because the ego is no longer there to wrap itself around the soul, to wrap itself around the self, to galvanize itself around the heart. And that is when true confidence can actually be built. Confidence in character, you know, maybe it's in looks, right? You think about when you, now this is a really bad, very, very superficial example, but you think about when bodybuilders and they work out, and in order to get that, become that strong, truly that strong, they have to damage the muscle. The muscle gets damaged. And through that damage, the muscles get bigger and stronger, right? And it's authentic, man. You know, one hit from a bodybuilder, you know, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that's a bad example, but you see what I'm saying? Did I write Cancer? I never wrote Cancer. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Does anybody even care? I doubt it. What the hell? Wait, did I do that right? Sorry. So let's see what that Nine of Wands reversed is. Ooh. Oh, shit. Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, that is rough, buddy. The Nine of Wands reversed, the Ten of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. Oof. Why? Why the Ten of Swords? The Emperor reversed. Ooh, God. Oh man, Cancer. Sorry, I know I just keep making faces, but I hate delivering messages like this. Especially because my brand is based on being honest. You know, at least in the tarot cards. And so I know that I have to be honest with you. And it hurts me a little bit. Somebody may be giving up on this. There may be a betrayal, or somebody may deliver a message to you in a very harsh way, and it may make you feel abandoned. It may make you feel alone. Give me one more on that Ten of Swords. Yeah, I told you, there's a communication. There's some kind of communication that is, I mean, it's pretty rough, man. You know, it's pretty rough. It feels like it's very disappointing to you, and you're like, oh, okay. You know, but you're like, it's making you stronger for some reason. There's a better understanding of who you are because of this. You're still inspired. You're still like, you still got it, but it's showing up in a different way. Like your confidence is showing up in a different way. It's like you're stronger because of whatever this is that happens. And I'm not gonna lie, like the message you're getting, or the communication you're getting, just sounds mean. Like it just sounds mean, you know? Okay. Ugh, I don't like reading this stuff sometimes. Tell me about that Magician. Why is that the advice? The King of Cups reversed. So what I would say is be cautious of stooping down to somebody else's level. You may feel like, you know, you're wanting to fight back, or you're wanting to let your ego kind of take the wheel. I wouldn't do that. I think that this person, whoever it is, it's going to create some level of self-doubt in you. And to be honest, it feels like it's part of your character arc. Like it's part of your development for who you are becoming, who you're going to become. And I think that you have to choose peace in this particular instance. Because this feels very much like a character development, like you would see in a show or a movie or something. You know what I mean? Okay. I know that's probably not what you want to hear. This was a pretty rough reading, I'm not going to lie, but I don't think it is affecting you in the way that would affect most people. Because it seems like you have a pretty good sense of self and like who you are already. And it seems like, you know, you've been put on that that list of one of God's strongest soldiers this year, and you're just gonna kind of have to deal with it until you get taken off that list. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be okay. It's just part of your character development, baby. Main character vibes. You know what I'm saying? Thanks a lot, Cancer. Oh my God, Leia, really? Oh, wow. You're just the message, Violetta. You don't determine the contents of the message. The truth helps even if it, oh, thank you. Yeah. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I really don't. Sometimes I do, you know, if they piss me off enough, but I don't like hurting anybody. I'm so sad about it too. I have said some stuff that have hurt people, but it was like you really needed to hear that, dog. You know, like nobody else is gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You know, I've had to do that before. It sucks. It definitely sucks. Yeah, me too, Dee Dee. I get it. I feel that. Taurus moon, just sometimes. Like, you know how they're like, oh, like, you know, in synastry, look at the moon sign and, you know, compare moons and stuff like that. And like, for instance, they'll be like, oh yeah, moon in Taurus and moon in Capricorn do really well together, right? They'll say stuff like that because it's double earth and they trine one another, you know, if they're within a certain degree. But I gotta be honest, having an exalted moon and like engaging in like a romantic partnership with somebody who has a Capricorn moon is incredibly difficult, especially like if somebody has a debilitated Mars, you know, like if they have if they have like a Mars in Cancer. I have a Mars in Capricorn, and so my Mars is exalted, you know, and like dealing with somebody who has like a shitty Mars is really difficult for me. It's really difficult for me because it's like I can't, you know, you feel like the constant teacher. Like, you know, I have a Venus in Scorpio, which is in detriment. And I could imagine like somebody with a Venus in Pisces would probably not be able to stand me. Like, I got to teach this bitch how to love properly. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is really hard. My Virgo tongue is sharp. What's your Mercury in, Lori? Your Mercury's in Scorpio? We'll have to double check that. My Mars is Taurus. Oh man. I like Mars in Taurus because it goes in my first house. And so a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot of, but Mars, like if somebody's Mars is in your first house, like this person can feel very tempted by the house person, and so the house person can feel very desired, but like it depends on like the other aspects it's making, because sometimes the house person can just get really fucking irritated with the Mars person and not understand why. And sometimes like the Mars person can be really attracted to the house person, but they are in denial about it, or you know, they don't want to be attracted, so they'll like almost punish the house person, you know. that kinds of stuff really is very interesting to me. Anyway, Mars in Scorpio, ooh, that's a really strong placement. I would not mess with a Mars in Scorpio. You too, Lori. Oh, well, this makes a lot of sense. Girl, get to the reading. Bye. Goodbye. You are never allowed to talk here again. Don't ever tell me what to do on my channel. Ever in your life. Now you won't be able to. I bought my oldest daughter a book of signs, and it's like an encyclopedia. I'm going to have to get a hold of that book and brush up on this. Oh my God, it's so interesting. Denied, yeah, like can you imagine being so entitled and like sitting there consuming free content and telling somebody what to do with their time and their energy and their channel? No. Oh, 29 degrees. Are you okay? I have a 28 degrees Virgo sun. You know, I feel like once a planet gets to those later degrees, it just kind of wants to give up. It's like, oh God, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do this anymore. Go to toilet. You know what? 46 Rich a John. That is something that I can adhere to. That's actually a great idea. Let me pee real quick, buddy. That's some great advice. That's great advice. You know what, buddy? I will go to toilet. I just flushed him. Leo rising. Oh, my daughter's a Leo rising. She's a 3-degree Leo rising. All right, let's see. Leo is next. All right. The big old lions. 1 second, guys. Give me just a sec. Yeah, I know, Adolfo. That's all right. All right. Thank you guys for waiting, or those of you that did. Hi, Jamie. Yes, Matthew, I write poetry. I've wrote poetry since I was a little girl, ever since my grandfather taught me how to use a old school typewriter. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Leo. What's going on? Let's see what's going on for you this week. The Hierophant reversed is in your energy. Hi, Dream. The 10 of Wands reversed for what you don't see coming. And the Queen of Pentacles for your advice. A little bit of instability here. Let's see that Hierophant reversed. Page of Wands reversed. Oof. Oh, man. God, guys, I'm so sorry. The energy is so like, tonight. I'm so sorry. What's the Hierophant reversed? The 7 of Swords. Okay. Well, It feels like you're suspicious. It feels like you may be suspicious that somebody has cheated. You may be trying to get your point across to somebody that you're attempting to get information from. But to be honest with you, it almost feels like you're trying to crack somebody open, but it feels like the way that you're going about it is pretty unstable, if I'm going to be honest with you. You seem to be really upset. Why? The Five of Swords. You feel like you've been played. God, I'm so sorry, you guys. The energy just sounds so negative. I'm so sorry. But it's like you feel like you got played. And honestly, as crappy as this sounds, it's not about you getting played. It's about how you're going to play this and how you're going to deal with it. Because from the jump, because you feel manipulated or you feel like somebody's playing some kind of mind game with you, or you end up lashing out, so much so that you may really destabilize something that is important to you, or you're trying to force somebody to understand or believe something. But I think all it's going to do is it's going to make somebody else push back. I think that for some of you, you may start to have a bit of a crisis of faith. You may not actually understand the full story about something, if I'm being totally fair. But you are pretty upset. You're pretty annoyed. I would be cautious of, like, if I'm going to be honest with you, be cautious of like putting your foot in your mouth. We can do this a lot when we see Mercury retrograde, and especially Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, conjunct Mars. We can really put our foot in our mouth. So just be cautious with that. The Ten of Wands reversed with the Queen of Cups reversed and the Sun reversed. For some of you, you could be in a same-sex relationship, okay? Somebody seems to be, this might be a reaction that you're having to somebody, because it feels like somebody's pretty closed off. Like they don't want to talk. See, remember when I told you it's like you're trying to crack somebody? Four of Swords can be where we're in private, where we're hiding away from another person. And this individual, it looks to me like they've bit off more than they can chew emotionally when it comes to their relationship with you, even if this is just a friend. And this person isn't revealing anything to you. It's almost like they're punishing you, or I'm not saying this is exactly what they're doing, but it almost feels when somebody's trying to punish you with their silence or punish you with their absence. Why is the Queen of Cups reversed? The Empress. Hello, lesbian trio. I'm just joking. Whoa. Could be something that involves a mother figure or another feminine energy around you guys. Feels like this person expected you to show up, or expects you to show up in a very specific way this week, but you don't do that. And because of that, it's like there's some level of distrust that's formulated. And this person is like backing out, or they're getting some space from you, or they're trying to separate themselves from you in some way. And you're not happy about it. You feel like they're fucking with you. You feel like they're hiding something. It's like somebody, I'll never forget, like, I remember my ex one time, I found out on my birthday, he said this like pervy line to some chick on Facebook. And well, I don't want to say some chick on Facebook. She's actually nice, and she's the reason that I found out about it. So shout out to her. But I was like, I need you to leave me alone, and I need some space. And I went and locked myself in the room. And at first he tried to break down the door, And when that didn't work, he used a butter knife to unscrew the shit on the door handle or whatever it was. You know, and you might be the door unscrewer person. You know, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but it's like this person's like, no, need some space, no. You know, and you're kind of like breaking down the door a little bit. Anyway, we have a lot of feminine energy in this reading. Your advice, Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Hermit reversed. So something may come as a surprise to you, honestly. You may come as a surprise to somebody else. But this is about being stable and mature. You know, this is about being stable, mature, taking the high road. This is not the time to be unscrewing the door handle with the butter knife. This is not the time to try to break down doors. This is a time to maintain, you know, yourself and your sense of maturity and all of the healing that you've done in your life. Like, this would be a good time to apply that. Okay. So, what is going on this week? Ew, I don't like it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, you know, tarot is so dramatic. I've used a butter knife many times. I'm done having love in my heart for people that don't show the same love back. Well, this is the thing that I've learned, Matthew, honestly. When you give love, like, and the way that you give love, don't ever expect it back. Like, if you're giving it, there should never be an expectation for something back. You know, and you know, it's human nature for us to want that reciprocated, but it is better to just give it freely and not expect. And people feel that vibe, you know, but that honestly saves you from a lot of heartache. So it's like when you do get it, when it is reciprocated, it's like, oh, that's so nice, you know? Because it's like, you know, you think about it, unfortunately, like, nobody really owes me shit. You know what I mean? Like, really, nobody in this life owes me shit. And that's like a really hard pill to swallow. No matter how much I give somebody, they don't owe me anything. You know, they really don't. And so that's really hard, though. It's really hard to give love in that way and just not expect it. But if you know that, like, you're giving a lot and it's not being reciprocated and it's draining, then you just shouldn't be giving it anymore. But to not expect it is such a more pure way to give it. You know what I mean? I know that's difficult, right? Because as human beings, it's just like so hard to do that. It's really hard to do it. I agree, E. Isn't that kind of what they agree to when they enter into a relationship? I mean, yes, but even then, like in a relationship, like this used to really upset me. I'm gonna give you like a very small example, okay? I got into a relationship with someone and he would like buy me something, right? He would buy me something. And then like a little bit of time would go on, like a couple of weeks, and he would kind of mention the thing that he bought me. And then he would try to like hint that, you know, I should be buying him something. First of all, ew. You know, that's so gross. Why did you even buy it for me? Just so I could buy you something? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that respect is the foundation. Like, respect is 100% the foundation. But yeah, anyway, it's a weird perspective, but I hope that makes sense. Right, Mojo. Yeah, kind of like give it and be like, that's gone. Like, I'm not receiving anything from that. And it keeps you in your own power a lot of the times. Because you don't become codependent. There's such a great level of independence with that, you know? It's like two people coming in as whole people, instead of like needing it. You just, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it. Yeah, but see, love is based on perspective. Love is different. The way that I love is different than somebody else loves. I may view love as receiving a lot of physical touch. Somebody else may view love as something completely different. Maybe that's not their focus. And so that person can feel like, oh, well, I'm doing these things, or I love this person entirely. I'm just not very affectionate. But the other person, unspoken, they're thinking this person doesn't love me. And so I think it's important to talk about those things and to learn about those things. So if you come into an agreement, you're like, hey, I need more physical touch, then yes, and this person agrees to it, then yes. But a lot of the times these things take practice if it's not someone's natural love language, for instance. Anyway. Thanks, bearded guy. We love beards here. And of course, it's a lot more than love languages, but I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm explaining it okay. You know what, E, that's great as well. That is great as well. Well, like when somebody remembers little things. Yeah, that's beautiful. So let's move on to Virgo. Like for me, I'm all about acts of service. Acts of service and words of affirmation. Acts of service, baby. I grew up in a house where my dad did everything for my mom. Tim, can you go to the store? Goes to the store for her. Tim, can you bring me a glass of water? He always cooks for her and he loves it. He's also a Venus and Virgo, but I know that I need someone that is similar. I'm not saying they have to like adhere to my every whim, but I love that. I love feeling taken care of. Love me a daddy or a mommy type, you know what I'm saying? All right, Virgo, let's see. Okay, Virgo, you're in the Knight of Wands energy. What you don't see coming is the World. Okay. I'm scared. The Knight of Pentacles reversed for your advice. Okay. Let's see that Knight of Wands for your energy. The Two of Pentacles reverse. The Three of Cups. All right. Why is the Two of Pentacles reversed? The King of Pentacles reversed. Uh-oh. So let's just look at these two, right? Having fun, doing your thing, hanging out with people, maybe socializing a little bit, getting in touch with your friends, going after your passions. You're just having a good time, having an absolute blast, if I dare. But that Two of Pentacles reversed is sandwiched between those two cards. And then what's clarifying it? Whoopsie. The King of Pentacles reversed. All right. So what does that mean? That means, well, A, you're having a good time. B, people are enjoying your company and vice versa. But you have other priorities that you're really needing to focus on, because I don't think that, especially for my Virgos who are not in a totally stable situation or maybe you need to budget better, maybe you need to focus on your business, maybe, you just have other, maybe health priorities, things like that. But you're just like, not going to think about it, not going to worry about it. And I feel like you need to. I'm not saying you need to worry about it, but I think that you need to be proactive when it comes to your material priorities, or your health priorities. I mean, it's pretty, You know, Virgo, a lot of the times, most of the time, your reading is pretty straightforward. And I still feel that now. For others of you, you may end up, if it's not that, then you guys may end up dropping somebody in your life that is like sucking up all of your energy, time, and money. Okay. The world's for what you don't see coming with the Two of Wands and the Temperance reversed. Oh. There may be an unexpected trip, but you may kind of feel like, oh God, I don't know if I have the bandwidth for that right now. Or what is the world about? The Lovers reversed. Oh shit. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Tell me about the Temperance reversed. The Two of Swords reversed. Okay. So you're acknowledging that you're not at peace with something. The world can represent a closure. And if the Lovers reversed is clarifying it, you may be having closure with the person. And now you're kind of figuring out like, okay, I don't really know like where to go from here. You're just kind of stuck on the fence maybe. But it's unexpected, this closure, or maybe this visit. But it may be that somebody is telling you that they're not at peace with how you guys left things. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels like, oh, wait, what? How's Virgo reacting to this? The Nine of Pentacles reversed. You guys really need to be careful of your money and or your health this week, okay? Don't give more than you have. Like Nine of Pentacles reverse is where we give more than we have. Talk about acts of service, baby. It's like, can you really do this right now? You know, because you honestly, with that Two of Pentacles reverse and the Temperance reverse, you may already have a lot on your plate. However, the world for me is trumping the rest of those cards. The world is like a completion, but it's something that's successful. It's something that brings you peace. And you're like, okay, what now? You know, whether it's closure with the person that you want to move forward with, or whether it's like, okay, we can be done now, you know, but there's something to be had from it, but you may not really be sure how you feel about it. Yeah, I feel like there's some kind of trip. The Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Wands. I think that there's some kind of trip for some of you. You guys may be a bit stuck right now, especially financially, business-wise, health-wise, something like that. It's asking you to look to the Wheel of Fortune. What is the Wheel of Fortune? It can be like what you put out there comes back, right? So for instance, it can be very simple. What are you eating? You know, what are you eating, and how does that show up on your body, on your skin, on your teeth, whatever, right? Within months' time, how does that look? You know, how much work are you doing? Are you working efficiently, or are you really working to build something, or are you just, you know, have you lost your passion for something? Whatever you put into your work or your business, that's what you're going to get back. So it's kind of asking you to see things in that way. But there needs to be some level of progress moving forward. But I think that you're needing to look at it in a different way, or in a higher perspective. And I feel like once you do that, you'll find that you have more reasons to celebrate. For some of you, you need to go on a trip, okay? If there is a trip, I would say yes to it, okay? But this is like all about looking to the future, in my opinion. Because that Two of Wands is showing up, which means that there's a plan being set in place, or a decision that needs to be made. Okay? With whatever this is, I think it's positive because of that world. It's something maybe you worked very hard for, or worked a very long time on. And it's telling you to move forward with that plan. I'm not talking like going back to your abusive ex. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. Thanks a lot, Virgo. Libra. Libra, 9 of Swords. That's your energy. 6 of Cups reversed for what you don't see coming. Oh God. The Death card for your advice. I'll say. Okay, tell me about the 9 of Swords. The King of Swords. The Devil. Okay, I actually like the Devil here. I actually like this. It seems like, why is the 9 of Swords there? The 7 of Cups reversed. You may be concerned about making some kind of decision, or you may be concerned that you're not seeing something correctly. You're very worried. Like, you're really in your head, you're focused on the future, you're really concerned. And then you get to this point where you're like, fuck that. I'm not going to sit here and worry about this. I'm not going to focus on this. You know, the King of Swords is about being very logical about something. Like, you may be catastrophizing something, and then you may stop for a second and be like, oh my God, shut up, Libra. Like, honestly, why are you even thinking like that? You know, and there's something that's happening where, like, there's a switch. There's a switch happening. Ma'am, what the hell is your problem? No, you have to go. It's a freaking cat, dude. It's like, you know, you, like, imagine that you're about to go to a party, for instance, and you're like, oh God, I'm really like worried about what people are gonna think of me. You know, I'm really like, are they gonna like me? Am I gonna make a good impression? And then you, like, something in your head switches and you're like, no, what am I gonna think of them? What am I going to think of what they're wearing? What am I, you know, or what am I going to think of who they are? I was invited here. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's like a power switch. There's something in your mind that's switching where you're like, no, what am I gonna think of them? And sometimes you gotta be like delusional about it, be like, no, they're here to impress me, you know, because sometimes that's the only way to get through, you know what I mean? So I'm not mad at it, I actually like it. And if there is a choice to make, you're making it very wisely. And for some of you, you may have some pretty good counsel on your side to make this decision. Okay. What's the surprise? The 4 of Wands. Maybe you are going to a party. The 6 of Cups reversed, the Fool, and the 7 of Pentacles reversed. If somebody has had a bone to pick with you, maybe you have some bad blood with someone, you know, maybe you see them at the party, right? And they see you, right? Let's go with that narrative. Let's go with that storyline. They see you and they're like, Libra, I feel like we should hash this. I don't want to waste another moment of us wasting our time on this fight or this beef that we have or whatever. I don't want to focus on that. I want to let bygones be bygones. I want to start brand new if you're cool with that. You know, that's kind of like the vibe. 4 of Wands can be a relationship, can be that you actually see this person at a party, but this person is trying to have fun with you. They don't want to waste any more time on this beef or this spite or this animosity or this resentment. So to me, I feel like this is a pretty positive one, in my opinion. Your advice, death, Page of Pentacles reversed, and the 8 of Swords reversed. If you feel like something is not making progress in your life anymore, like there's just really nothing to be had here, then you need to end it or something needs to change. Okay? Because you may have been stuck on something for a long time that isn't panning out. And so it's asking you to change it, or it's asking you to end it. Alrighty, let's move on to Scorpio. Thanks, Kurt. You're welcome, Lee. Are you guys feeling with Venus in your sign, baby? Elegant, very elegant night. What? Okay, Jane Austen. Just messing. All right, let's see, Scorpio. The moon reversed in your energy. Good night, Lee. The Ace of Pentacles reversed for what you don't see coming. The Knight of Cups for your advice. Interesting. What's up, Alyssa? Yes. Oh, I feel that, Nicole, for sure. What state are you in? A mentally unstable one. The moon reversed. The Hangman reversed. The Ace of Swords reversed. Are you good? Are you okay? I mean, what is this? What is that? Oh boy. Justin, thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. Okay. Oh, exhausting. I just feel exhausted when I see this. I feel like you guys are just exhausted. This is so much for such a tiny amount of cards. Can you tell me the moon reversed? The Knight of Swords. It's like, this is gonna make you sound bad, but that's not my intention. Okay, it's just the first example that I could think of. I used to date somebody, and we used to get a lot of arguments about statistics around a certain topic. And they kept trying to argue with me. And so finally, like, at first we were just talking about the topic. And then I was like, fine, you know what? I didn't want to have to do this, but I pulled up like the statistics, right, on the topic. And these were facts. I showed exactly where it was from, you know, where the article was from, where they got the information from, everything, right? And I'm a Virgo, baby. And they still were in denial about it. It didn't matter how much proof I showed this person. There was no convincing them. Okay? I kind of feel like that is you a little bit. Like there's something that you're acknowledging, like something is being brought to your attention, but you still like don't get it. You haven't like passed over the bridge of awareness. It's like, oh, information is being brought to you. It's being revealed to you through somebody telling you something. And you're like, no. It's almost like you're lying to yourself. I hate to say that because it sounds really shitty. I think we've all done that, right? It sounds really shitty, but you think about the hangman. The hangman is technically Neptune. When you see it in reverse like that, it makes me think of the shadow sides of Neptune, which is like, Neptune is like a shadow within itself, but the shadow side of Neptune is illusion. It's living in a fantasy. It's escapism. And it's like learning something and trying to escape from it. You don't want to think about it, Been there, absolutely, like absolutely in denial. It feels like that's where your head's at. Your head's a little bit in the swirl. I say this as a Venus in Scorpio. I'm Venus ruled, okay? I'm not hating. I'm just telling you what I see. Tell me about that Ace of Pentacles reversed. Oof. Scorpio, I love you so much. You guys are one of my favorite signs if it matters. You and Cancer. What's that High Priestess reverse about? Okay. Seems financial. Something's revealed to you about money. Something ends up not panning out and you learn why, or something didn't pan out and you learn why, and it can be around money, income, money borrowed, money lent. It's something about finances. And something's being revealed to you about what has been given or what has not. It's something like that. What is Scorpio's response to this? The Star. Healing. You might be trying to like heal your finances. It can be something like maybe you really wanted to buy something this weekend. It can be this simple. Maybe you really wanted to buy something this weekend, but you didn't realize how like a subscription that you bought a year ago, you bought it for the year and it's like $200 a year, and then it comes out of your account and you're like, wait, what the fuck? And you're like, oh shit. I forgot to cancel that. Or it can be something like that, but something is being revealed to you, but it's like, wait, what? It's surprising. Be careful of like fraud. Okay, you can see that with Neptune and anything kind of financial. Like my mom had some Neptune stuff happen the other day, and she ended up getting her Venmo hacked. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to be careful. But I think that like the way out. Like you're like, okay, but you're still like hopeful that you can buy it. Like, maybe you're able to cancel. You're able to say, hey, I actually don't want the subscription. I know that like I already paid for it. Can you just cancel and give me the refund? And then like maybe you get it. Can kind of be the vibe. For others of you, if it's not about money, it can be like you realize that you're not going to have an opportunity with a job because they gave it to someone else. But you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll focus on my bigger goals and my bigger dreams. But you might be like, wait, really? Like, are you sure? You might feel a little fuzzy, like you're not really sure if that's the right information. Ooh, whoa, I just got a weird message. Somebody may be lying to you about it. Ugh, sorry, I know that's really confusing, but I heard it in my head, and so I feel like I need to say it. You may have somebody here who doesn't want you to have something, and so they spread misinformation about it. Like, let's say that you really want to date Mike or Tammy from, I don't know, the place that you take your kids to go to ballet school. Okay, maybe it's a mom or a dad there. I don't know, right? And then somebody, like a friend or somebody, is like, "Oh no, like Tammy's actually taken," you know, and then like you find out that Tammy is in fact not fucking taken. You know what I mean? It's like, and like, well, why did this person lie to me about that? You know, that might be the confusion. Whoa. Okay. Burn it all down. Burn it down, baby. Dracarys. I just heard that song now, Let the World Burn for You. Let the World Burn. I was just listening to that today, which is like such a Scorpio fucking song, let's be honest. I can't remember who it's by though. So we have the Knight of Cups, the Tower, the Chariot. I want you to go in there and I want you to raw dog that bitch. Okay, not like actually a person. Okay, I'm just saying, do the thing anyway. It's asking you to be bold. It's asking you to be bold and courageous in your actions when it comes to either creativity or love. Okay. What is that Tower? The King of Wands reversed. Get over yourself is what I want to say, and go for the thing. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. I am now going to do super chat questions. I'm sorry. Do you do runes? I don't, E. Should I? I've never learned them. What's up, Devontae? I do. You know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about getting those little charms that, you know what I'm talking about? Like little charms. I was thinking about doing this. I'm a Taurus. That's what's up. You're the best. Love you. I love you too, beautiful. Thank you. You're so pretty. I got my pendulum. I can't get down with the pendulum. Do you do private readings? I do, on my website at violettaalexis.com. You can find it. It's in the description. Right, Kenneth? I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the charms. I think that would be cute. Just to spice it up a little bit. Ooh, candle work. Thanks, 151. Just go to my website, honestly, Shell. Is it true what people say about blondes? Who cares? Who cares what people say about blondes? I'm good, Junior. How are you? V, it's your mind for me? Stop. Thank you. Sorry guys, all super chat questions are on hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Just click the link up there. What are you working on tonight? I don't know. Kind of lost my passion for life. I'm just going about my routine here, quite frankly. I am moving to New Orleans. Very cool. need a vacation. Maybe. I just feel like dull. Like, I just feel, I know nobody cares. I just feel like dull. Like, my life is just feels dull. Just dull. Like, it feels like peaceful, but I don't know. It's just like I'm having a hard time feeling things. Thanks, Brian. Anyway, gain followers or gain eagers. What the fuck is an eager? Anything I can do to help V? Give me a winning lottery ticket. I don't know. Yeah, Matthew, spice things up, I guess. Yeah. You know what I think it is? I think that I use a lot of my energy for tarot, and really all I want to do is write. But I give so much energy to this that I don't feel like I have energy or the bandwidth or the feelings to write and produce content for what I really want to do. Although I do write, I write a lot. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but I write. I'd probably say 4 days out of the week, even if it's something small. But I just I don't have it. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I am going to shut up about that. I'm going to go get some water. I'm going to get some tea. And then I'm going to do super chat questions. If you guys do want to get your cards read live on the stream, then you can go to hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. You can find that link. It is the pinned comment in the chat, okay? Your art will be successful. I think the same thing for you, Mojo. Thank you. Thanks, them boys. Thank you, Tish. I hope I said that right. Really? A book club. That's interesting. Thanks, Nicole. I think you're beautiful too. Hands on hips, we're superheroes. You guys are so cute. Thank you for being so encouraging. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. All right, I'll be right back, okay? So ugly. Okay, I'll be right back. right. Excuse me. Thank you guys for waiting. I know that was a long time. That was a long time. I needed some tea though, because my... Thanks, Sean. My throat starts to hurt. I start to get really worn out, so I need to like get a bite of a muffin or like get some tea. So yeah, use some ginger root. This is actually ginger tea and orange ginger tea mixed together. Yeah, Candy, I agree. I got a little bit of a one. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to have that and not complaining. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Thanks, Ben. I love you too, Candy. Thanks, Nicholas. What's up, Carl? Thank you, Lori. I love that. Love that. All right, so we have Super Chatter number 1. Oh, what a nice thing to say. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much to my number 1 over here. That is so sweet. Thank you for saying that. Oh, honey. Do you understand that I'm working? My cat is so, as soon as she sees me talking to anybody else, like even if it's just a computer, she has something to say about it. Well, come on. There, is this what you wanted? Since she's a Leo, I know she wants all the attention. There you go. Look at that pretty face. You can tell she's super happy to be here. I know, but you have to go. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, number 1. Please excuse me. I am so sorry. Damn it. All right. So number 1, thank you for saying what you said. So now moving on. Thank you for the compliment. So let me see. Oh, number 1, I already know it's rough out there. I really do. That's why I don't even choose to partake anymore. So I get it. So let's go ahead and see this person's feelings for you after you guys ran into each other. Okay, he was looking. You know, Page of Swords is like somebody who's curious. They're looking. They're being very observant. They're watching. After he saw you, he may have done something like went to go look at your Facebook or went to go look at your Instagram or your YouTube channel or whatever it is to kind of peep you out. The 5 of Cups reversed. He may be hoping for some level of forgiveness, or he may be hoping that you guys can kind of put something behind you, is what it looks like. If you guys have, okay, I know this is a weird thing to say, but if you guys have ever been like intimate, I don't think that he regrets that. I think that he may have looked at you and been like, damn, I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that vibe. Is he worth her time? No. No, I don't think so. The 4 of Wands reverse is somebody who is just not ready for a commitment. They may have a lot of insecurities that cause them to look elsewhere or seek out some kind of unhealthy form of validation, which we all do, right? But I don't think this is somebody that would be worth it right now, okay? I know you asked if he was still tied to his FWB situation. Let's see, is he tied to that? The Temperance? Probably. the temperance is, not only are him and this person like creating something together, but he's very content with where things at. And he may feel like things are very kind of equal give and take. Okay, to be fair, whatever the hell they're taking and whatever the hell they're giving to each other, it seems like he's content with it. And again, on number one, thank you so much for what you said. That definitely made my night. Number two. Okay, let's see what you don't see coming here. The Six of Pentacles reversed. The Chariot. And the Sun. What's the surprise? Exactly, the Ace of Pentacles. Something that you may have thought was lost, the Six of Pentacles reversed, or something that you felt like was taken from you or wasn't given. It seems like that's coming in, and like it's coming in fiercely. Like it's coming in like a bat out of hell. For instance, if this is like, let's be really cliche, right? Let's say that it is an ex or something like that. Maybe you thought, or a person you were talking to, maybe you thought that this person wasn't interested, something like that. Then they literally show up on your doorstep with, all the things to say, and they want an opportunity. And it's not just any opportunity. Like, the Ace of Pentacles to me is the most valuable opportunity because the intent behind it is to create something long-term and stable. So I feel like whatever this is, it could be from a monetary standpoint. So it could be financial, or maybe you thought you didn't get the job, or maybe you thought you didn't have money for the car, or whatever it is. I feel like you'll have it. So something is moving forward in a very positive way. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with the Sun. Even when the Sun is reversed, it's still incredibly positive. It's still positive. So I feel like things are going to be very clear for you this week, especially in regards to what direction you go in based on an opportunity that you're receiving. What is being hidden from you? Good stuff. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands. I think that you're going to learn, because you had faith in yourself, in God, in Jesus, I don't know, whatever you believe in, okay, because you had faith, and you kind of just like let go and you didn't try to force something, you are going to find that that thing actually comes in. If you have put some kind of good karma out in one way or another, it is going to come back to you. You just don't see it right now. So right now, if you feel like, oh, I'm in the dumps, like life just doesn't ever work out for me, or love doesn't ever work out for me, it's going to. You just can't see it right now. One of my favorite poets, sometimes he goes by Of a Hound, but he said something to the effect of, it was in the poem, he said, oh, damn it. It was something about someone who kept walking in the dark and they didn't realize how close they were to success, but they had to keep walking to finally learn it. They had to keep going. And it was something like that. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful poem. Unfortunately, I'm not gifted enough to recite it word for word, but it was gorgeous. And so I feel like that's something similar with you. Your oracle cards or our adjustments are required. Why was that so hard to spit out? About what? The South Node. Ooh. There's something that you are destined to release. You got to let it go. And I think that is kind of what the Wheel of Fortune is pointing to a little bit. There's something that you got to kind of give up. You got to let it go. It's something that's very draining, whether that's like you doom scrolling all the time, or, maybe it's you have had some alcohol problems. I don't know, whatever. There's something that is draining your energy that you got to let go of. And then we have Tide of Transition. Embrace the tides of change with openness, allowing the ebb and flow of life to guide your transformation into love and work. Wow. So it's asking you to be fluid, I guess you could say, would maybe be a proper term for it. And it's telling you to allow things to come and go as they please. That doesn't mean allow your abuser back into your life whenever you want. That's obviously not what I mean. But, if somebody wants to go, let them go. You know what I mean? If people want to enter your life, let them enter your life, obviously with discernment. And then it's telling you to allow whatever transformations are going on in your life, allow it to bleed in to your love life or your self-love and or your work as well. Okay. Thank you. All right, we have number 3. Is the Aquarius the one, or will I be alone? Oh. Okay. Is the Aquarius the one? No, you are. A Virgo. No, you said you're a Virgo in there. I don't think so. I don't think the Aquarius is it. I think that, honestly, and I say this with so much gentleness, but I think the fact you even had to ask me, I think is an answer within itself. What is the Aquarius to this person? The 5 of Wands. This is somebody who maybe is meant to trigger your ego a little bit, and we all need that sometimes. This is somebody who may bring a little bit of inner conflict and make you question yourself, but that's exactly that person's role, is to make you question yourself. Because I feel like this person challenges, like, for instance, like, are you who you say you are? Are you going to double down on this, or do you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that this is. How can this person find who is for them? The 8 of Cups. You have to walk away from things that you're uncertain about. And why do I say that? Because the 8 of Cups comes after the 7 of Cups. What is the 7 of Cups? It's illusion, confusion, living in a fantasy. The 8 of Cups is like, we need to walk away from that. That's how you're going to find your person. The 2 of Swords, not denying things anymore, you know, being very honest with yourself. You're not going to be alone forever, I promise. Best of luck, of course. Number 4, right? What feelings does this person have for her, for number 4? Page of Wands reversed. I feel like he could be delaying some kind of conversation. You know, he can be kind of a little immature. I don't think he's very confident just in himself, to be honest, but even in regards to this connection. Why is that? The Emperor. Oof. So you may challenge who this person thinks he is. He may feel like you want him to be a certain kind of person with that Emperor there. But the Page of Wands reverse tells me that he's not confident he is that, nor is he confident that he can really be that. To be honest. I would be careful. There's 2 queens here, Queen of Pentacles reverse and the Queen of Swords reverse. I would be cautious that he's not dealing with somebody else, because that's what that looks like to me. As a reader, if I see something like that, that's what that makes me think. I'd be careful with that. And I don't know if you're this Queen of Pentacles reverse to him, or you're this Queen of Swords reverse to him. If you know for 100% without a fact, preach it, baby. Without a doubt that this person is not in correspondence with anyone else, and these are his feelings for you, feel like that would be worse. Okay, not that his opinion necessarily matters unless he wanted to. But the Queen of Pentacles is somebody, like, if this is a man's feelings about a woman, this is somebody who doesn't really feel like you're the wife type, or you're the relationship type, or feels like there's something very unstable about you. Feels like you may be a little erratic, or there may be, you know, this irrational behavior that he feels like you have, and you don't know how to regulate your own emotions. He can kind of feel that way. What does he want from number 4? The Empress reversed. Why are there so many ladies here? Ew. I feel like he wants you to change. I feel like he wants you to change. I feel like he wants you to change. Like, I'm gonna pull one more. What does he want her to change? The 10 of Cups. I feel like he wants you to be that nurturing, you know, I don't know, give him I don't know, it almost feels like he wants a mommy. It almost feels like he wants a mommy, girl. If that's the case, if you agree with that, if you feel like that's what he wants, I would run, honestly. Okay, let's see. Let's see what your oracles say. A time for healing. Then we have Virgo. And then we have free to move. Embrace your liberty to explore new paths. The world is wide open for your journey. You know, I feel like this is time to get real. You know what I'm saying? A time for healing, and then Virgo. Virgo is your opposite sign. I know that you said you're a Pisces. Virgo is more about the routine, the day-to-day, you know, getting real about shit, analyzing the situation for what it is, seeing it at face value. You may need to adopt some of those traits of your Virgo sister, okay? So it's asking you to be very realistic about something, and I feel like it's asking you to, like, you're not stuck here, you know, if you don't want to be. Like, you are free to move, you are free to be adventurous and live your life and feel liberated if that's what you want, you know, and I feel like that'll be very healing for you. So I don't know why it's telling you that, but that's what I got. Thank you, darling. We're moving on to number 5. Do you have trauma in your life? No, I've never been through anything in my entire life, ever. Never. Nope. Totally trauma-free. I'm manifesting it. I'm speaking it into existence. Sorry, somebody in the chat. Okay, number 5. Did they get away with it? Two of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. I feel like the decision that will be made, the judge or whoever it is will likely make a very practical decision, I think. But that Three of Wands and the Two of Pentacles tells me that, because I asked if this person is getting away with it free and clear from their perspective. And so I got the Two of Pentacles with the Three of Wands, which tells me that this person is like, okay, you know, maybe I have a second chance. Maybe I can, you know, put some plans into place and choose differently or whatever. So my answer would be yes. which I hate to say that, but that's what it looks like. I hate to say that, obviously, but that's what it looks like to me. Maybe something changes, though. Thank you, number 5. Number 6. Got a lot of Virgos in the house tonight. Love that. Okay, all right, let's see. Should you go to blank in the winter for 2 months? Yeah. 9 of Pentacles, I think that you would honestly have a good time, believe it or not. I think that you'd be living your life. You know, the 9 of Pentacles is really about enjoying your life and just chilling out, you know? So yeah, I think so. I think you would have a great time, in my opinion. Should she stay at the... Actually, give me one more for the kind of time she's going to have. The Knight of Wands reversed. The Knight of Wands reversed. There may be somebody that you meet there that is a little petulant, a little ridiculous. I don't feel like this is a dangerous person. Just like... wouldn't harm a fly. They just seem like a moron. So I don't know who that is. All right. Should she stay with the place she already booked? Why? I feel like the place that you already have booked, you may run into some resistance there. What about the other place that she's thinking about? 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords. I feel like the other place. The 4 of Swords, this is more peaceful. This is a bit more chaotic. You may feel like, you know, you're blocked from doing certain things, or, you know, maybe the place that you're booking has certain like curfews, or I don't know, right? Whatever the thing is. Can you tell I haven't been on vacation in a long time? But the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords reverse is like, you know what? Hell yeah. It's like this feeling very at peace, you know, feeling at peace when you're by yourself. It's just very, very peaceful, and it can end up being very healing for you. So I wouldn't go with the place you already have booked from what I see. Of course, you're responsible for all your own decisions. Okay, but that's what I see. Let's get some random messages for you. Show the world the real you. So for some reason, it is asking you to, I don't want to say expose something, but reveal something about yourself that is very authentic. I don't know if you need to do this online. I don't know if you need to do this in your work, to romantic partners. I don't know, but it's asking you to be more authentic in the way that you move through the world. And then we have Aquarius again. So, and I say that because this says full moon in Aquarius right here, and then you have Aquarius here. So this can be about like who you are in group dynamics, and what that means for the kind of people that you attract. And so needing to be, as much as you can stand it, right? Because we all kind of wear a mask a little bit, or we all try to put on our best or whatever, but being as authentic as you can stand it. And that will give you more of a chance of attracting the kind of people, communities, opportunities, or friend groups that you want. I'm not saying you don't have friends now, but for some reason that's the message. Resurrection. Okay, maybe shake off the past and rise again. Reinvent yourself, and you will rise up from the ashes even more powerful. There's something about your identity here. That was interesting. Thank you, darling. I hope that you have fun. I think that you will. I really think you'll enjoy yourself. All right, we have number 7. Okay, need a reading on your love life. Let's see. Show me number 7's overall energy towards love right now. 3 of Cups reversed. Whoa. The King of Wands. You know, I think that you're very attractive with that King of Wands. And I think that you know it, or you have things that you're very confident when it comes to yourself and how you maybe maneuver through relationships, or just really how you maneuver through life. But that 3 of Cups reversed either tells me that you have third parties, or you're like totally alone, you know? But the good thing is that you really do have an attractive quality about you that I think is obviously attractive to people. Give me one more. Damn, this is your energy. I would utilize this. If you're looking for love, or if you're looking to change the relationship that you're in, or whatever it is, you have what it takes to do that. You just have to take action towards those things. Because the magician is when we have all of the qualities or all the things that we need in order to make what we want happen. And not only that, but you have the leadership, you have the confidence. And so I don't know what would be stopping you, or what is stopping you from actually obtaining the kind of person that you want, or, I mean, I don't know what the issue is. Is it just that you have a hard time, like, wanting to be around people? You know, do you feel like a lot of people are drama, or like, what is it? Because you have the ability. Show me what's coming in love for him. The Two of Cups reversed. There can be some kind of misunderstanding or disconnect that you end up having with someone. Why is that? The Devil reversed. Well, the Devil reversed is like an awareness that something is toxic, okay? That something is toxic, or something is maybe stagnant, or there's maybe some kind of like weird fear involved. And it seems like you and somebody else may have a misunderstanding around that, and potentially a disconnect because of it. The Three of Pentacles. But the good thing is, so I don't actually mind this. I actually like this. The Two of Cups reversed, the Devil reversed, and the Three of Pentacles. So this is when we have a misunderstanding or a disconnect with somebody, but we're able to acknowledge why, the Devil reversed, and the other person also acknowledges why as well. So it seems like you're able to get along with somebody. You seem to be on the same page with someone. This could be a coworker, or somebody that you are learning from, somebody that's learning from you, or somebody you decide to collaborate with, if that's something you're interested in. But I mean, like, you have what it takes. So I don't know if there's any insecurities that you have, but you really do have what it takes to, like, maintain relationships or to have one. Your commitment is being tested. Saturn. Whoa, that's hard. Trust the process, embrace uncertainty, have faith in the journey unfolding before you. Well, it's hard to have faith when Saturn is involved. Saturn loves to tell us no, okay? And it's not because Saturn just wants to be an asshole, but like, for instance, when Saturn is transiting one of your houses in the natal chart, like let's say it is transiting your 11th house of groups, friendships, things like that, right? You could feel like you're not really meeting people who are authentic to you, or it can feel like people really don't want to be your friend. You can feel a little ostracized, but Saturn isn't trying to punish you. Saturn is asking you to double down on who you are, to be able to attract the people that are meant for you. Saturn is trying to make sure that you are who you say you are. You know, you are who you say you are, and you're building long-lasting friendships based around that foundation. So it's like your commitment is being tested in regards to the relationships that you want, or the relationship that you're already in. And so I feel like right now you're going through this process that may feel very difficult or restrained or hard, but it's not because it's trying to punish you, it's trying to teach you something, okay? So like, keep going. You know what I mean? You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be out on the other end. You just gotta kind of trust the process and learn the lessons. Thank you, number 7. All right, give me just a second so I can take a couple of sips of tea. Okay. Okay. All right, back at it. Number 8. Oh, thank you so much. Number 8. All right, let's see. This feels unrelated. Who is this? Who's that Queen of Cups reversed? Excuse me. There may be somebody in your life who is feeling very drained. It may be asking you to what do you want this person to do about it? The Ace of Swords, there's someone that you need to clear the air with, or somebody that you need to talk to, because some kind of trust potentially has been broken, or this person may feel a little down, and for some reason they may need an answer from you, or they may need some kind of contact. But your advice to this is the Ace of Swords. I mean, maybe it's about cutting it out, I mean, it really depends on you, but there's somebody here who's like really drained. It seems like a side message. The Lovers. I feel like this is asking you, when it comes to your goals, making sure that everything aligns with the foundation that you've already built, or the foundation that you're trying to build, making higher self decisions. Don't be afraid to network, communicate, things like that. And I feel like you'll be successful, but I feel like this is about what you're doing, not necessarily about love. It could be, but I don't think that's what this is about. It feels like it's more about what you're doing. Like what you said in your message. But I feel like you're making some good choices already. I feel like this is a confirmation of keep going. Thank you, number 8. Number 9. All right, let's see. Next 3 months for number 9. The Knight of Swords reversed. The Hangman reversed. Why? Why both of those? The Seven of Swords. Give me one more. The Four of Pentacles. I heard waiting to strike. There's something that you may want to communicate, find out, or take action on, but you're trying to do it strategically. And you're holding back. It's like you're like a python waiting for the vibrations on the ground to be just right to snap or to bite something. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. Please excuse my Venus and Scorpio-ness. But I think this feels like it's out of caution. You're being very cautious about the moves that you're making because you feel like you don't have enough information, and it feels like you're kind of in limbo. What's the advice for this? The King of Cups. I would be cautious of the lack of progress due to you being overly critical of something or someone or something that you're trying to achieve. Because it's almost like you're being too cautious, or you're being too critical of yourself, or and so it may be asking you to take a more, King of Cups approach. Well, what kind of approach does the King of Cups take? The King of Cups doesn't share everything that he or she is doing. Keeps a couple in the chamber, right? Keeps it quiet, keeps things quiet, but still makes moves. I mean, it's Scorpio energy, so it does move in silence. And I feel like you know that in regards to something that you're trying to achieve. But instead of moving in silence, you're too cautious, so you're like not moving at all. Okay? And I don't know what that is, or if that's someone else in your life, but it feels, I imagine that this is you. Okay? I had to pull a couple extra cards just to make sure that I'm not giving you dumb shit. Thanks, number 9. Number 10. What should I do about these people? Just remember, this is not like legal advice, okay? This is not a substitution for legal advice, okay? You're responsible for all your decisions. What should I do about these people? You may be needing to release or expose something, okay? At your own risk. Again, you're responsible for your own decisions, but you may be needing to, like, instead of like being disappointed or focusing on like what isn't working, you may need to tell someone something, or you may need to expose something. The High Priestess reverse can be like where we're needing to reveal a secret, or we're needing to reveal something that's hidden. And I don't know, maybe it just needs to be to the right person. I feel like if you get the right person, that they may look into it more. Don't be content with where you're at right now. Like, you would have to be persistent about this. It's going to sound corny, but your heart may be in this. Like, there may be like a level of empathy around whatever this is. It's asking you to let that be the driver. Like your compassion, Knight of Cups. But don't just like stay content with this, like of where it is. Like, you will have to be persistent with it, but you'll have to show up gently, but firmly. So I feel like if you get the right person, right? So that may mean that you'll have to talk to a lot of people, but if you get the right person, I feel like the right person will do the digging. You know, like maybe a private investigator, or, you know, whatever it is. Best of luck, number 10. Thank you. Now we have number 11. Ew. Oh God, that sounds like a nightmare. Okay. Sorry, I tend to give my own opinion sometimes. All right, number 11, let's see. Let me see the feelings. If the King of Pentacles reverse comes out, you know, not my favorite, but let's see. What's his intent here? The Two of Wands. His feelings for you, World reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed. This is somebody who is trying to complete something. They may feel like you will help them do that. This is somebody that may also feel like you guys have some level of unfinished business here, but the Queen of Wands reversed can point to him feeling like you are insecure, or you're jealous, or you're angry, or whatever it is. His intent is the Two of Wands. So his intent is to move forward with some kind of plan, but it's not really giving me too much. Again, it's only 3 cards, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I don't know if his like opinion is necessarily the most solid about you, if I'm being fair. Thank you, number 11. Number 12. Is he going to have a successful relationship with this person? Let's see how it goes. Oh God, 10 of Swords, no. No. What is that about? The Five of Swords reversed, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Seven of Cups reversed. It's going to get to a point where somebody gets sick and tired of the games and they're going to realize that something was just simply a waste of time. They lose their patience, they get the reality check, and they're like, whoa, so glad I came out of that. Because it feels like somebody here may be wearing rose-colored glasses, and then something's going to check them, and then they're going to be like, oh shit, this is not real. Thank you, number 12. Number 13. Okay, let me see. I mean, are they going to leave you alone? Page of Pentacles reversed, Fool reversed. I asked for confirmation. I got the Justice reversed. These people may be spreading some kind of rumors, lies. They may be trying to project something onto you to get you to feel a certain way. You know, they may do things that are inconsiderate, perhaps a little reckless. I asked how you were going to feel about this to kind of understand like how it's affecting you. And I got the Hierophant, which tells me that you're pretty rooted in your morals and your values and like knowing who you are. You may be a very spiritual person, focused on spiritual practices or whatever. The good news is that your foundation is pretty set. So it's really hard to shake the Hierophant. The Hierophant is fixed earth. Okay, so it's pretty difficult to shake that. However, the Death reversed, you can feel like there's this looming like cloud over your head a lot. So I don't think that they're really done. I hate to say that, right? But that's what I'm getting right now. Thank you, number 13. Best of luck to you. That sounds terrible. Number 14. Why does this person keep coming in and out? The Nine of Swords. Why is that there? The Moon reversed. What are they trying to get here? The Six of Cups. They have some kind of fear. They have some kind of fear that you may connect with someone else. You said this is a Taurus. Tauruses are very possessive, okay? You know, they can run circles around a Scorpio when it comes to that level of possession and like, you know, sometimes stalker behavior in extreme cases, okay? I say that as a Taurus rising, Taurus moon. But especially if this person is a Taurus sun, it's like, but this is somebody who is concerned that like their biggest fear will come true, which may be that you connect with someone else and they lose you. So it's like, I don't know if they actually want you or if they just don't want someone else to want you or have you. What does this person want with number 14? The Six of Wands, your attention, your validation. Okay. I feel like this person just doesn't want anyone else to have you. Honestly. Oh, goodness gracious. Or it's like they want to make sure you haven't moved on kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got for you. Thanks, number 14. All right. The event is all done now. Go ahead and... Okay. All right, you guys. I love you very much. I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful evening. Thank you to all my super chatters. No, I don't have a husband. Thank God. Some of these questions. Thank you to all of my super chatters. Thank you to everybody that came in here. Thank you to my wonderful and beautiful mods. Good cop, bad cop, Kinez and Lori. You guys are angels. I would obviously never be able to do this without you. But again, please enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you so much for being here. Bye. Make sure you like the broadcast. Bye.